What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Revived. I am your host, as always, Shane Craig, and joining me is the lovely Jessi Craig.
Hello.
How are you doing this morning? How are you feeling?
I mean, I'm feeling tired, but I'm feeling good, though, because I'm not at work, so.
It's true. I'm a little tired myself, so bear with us if we seem a little low energy, because I think we're both a little bit worn out. If you don't know, Podcast Revived is where Jessi and I talk about the last month's worth of news in the sort of tech industry. Sometimes there's some gaming stuff in there as well. Excuse me. We post on YouTube as well as all major podcast services every month. So wherever you may be listening, whether it's YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, whatever, if you have the ability, opportunity, or desire to leave a like, a rating, a review, any of those sorts of things, please go ahead and do so. Jessi, what exactly are you doing over there? If you're in podcast form,
did you not see me sneeze my headset off?
Is that what just happened? Because it did. I didn't hear anything. So if you're only listening to this, you've missed out. If you've watched it, well, then you were in for quite the treat. Because it appears that Jessi just sneezed her headset clean off her own head.
A demon just escaped from my body, so.
Well, it happens.
This is our second take too, so.
Yeah, the first one she unplugged her microphone in the middle of the beginning. Then the second one she sneezes her headset off. So we're off to just a tremendous rolling
I'm so sorry.
start here. No, we're doing
Let's
good.
go.
We're doing good. So let's talk for a minute about a change that was made to the YouTube channel in general. So YouTube has a thing called YouTube members, and also there's Patreon, which is kind of this. I'm going to talk about them both as if they're the same thing, because they're kind of the same thing. Not really, but whatever, close enough. So with these two services, it's set up in such a way, it's a subscription model where, let's say, like on YouTube, you pay me $2 a month, and for that, I give you custom icons, I give you, private live streams, maybe early access to things. Patreon's the same way. You pay this much and maybe you're going to get merchandise, or pay this much and maybe you're going to get, ad-free versions of things, and whatever. So I set that stuff up when YouTube memberships became available to me. I think at 1,000 subscribers, maybe I did it then. I don't really remember, actually.
It was something like that.
Something like that. It's a while ago now. And I never really liked the idea, like obviously, I'm just gonna be super transparent with you. I liked the idea of having more revenue coming in from the channel, because I'm trying to do the YouTube channel as my only job. So obviously that, an additional revenue stream was something I was interested in. But the idea, so like here's why I don't like it. I like to think the content I produce is the best content I can produce. So I make the best content I can, and then I give it to everybody for free. If I'm going to hold some of that content back and give it to only people that are paying me money for it, I don't like that, because then that means I'm making the best content I can, and then I'm making some of it, I get if it's like, this content is ad-free, or this content is early, or whatever, I don't feel good about any of my content being contingent upon you giving me money. Like, I want you
it kind of feels like elitist almost.
Yeah,
that's
I don't know.
how I feel about it.
Something about it just doesn't feel good, because ultimately, it's not like I'm going to make extra content, because I make as much content as I can.
Yeah.
So you're all going to get the same stuff, which means that, what, am I going to make my content for the broad public worse? To make because I make the best content I can for everybody. So do I got to make my content worse for the people that don't pay me? Because that feels horribly wrong.
Yeah.
Because I can't make it any better than I already am.
It's already
the best I can do. It's already the best I can come up with. So like, it's not gonna be better, so it has to be worse for everybody else. That feels horribly wrong. So after ruminating on this for quite some time, I thought about it a lot. I didn't really talk about it at all, but I did think about it for a while. I finally decided to just disable it. And I don't think YouTube ever makes it public how many like members you have. I don't know if Patreon I didn't really have a whole lot going on. I just had like a handful of people on Patreon. But YouTube, I had more than a handful. Not hundreds and hundreds of people, obviously, because I've only got like 45 or 4,600 subscribers in general. But I had a handful on there, and so that's gone. So that revenue stream, I just killed it essentially. So we're not talking about like thousands of dollars a month or anything crazy like that. But it's a little bit of a hit for me, but I feel better about not, because every time you look at YouTube memberships, YouTube is asking you like, add more tiers to your membership tiers, do more things, and I'm like, or more benefits rather to your YouTube membership, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. That feels bad. I don't want to do things that feel bad. So I feel, I just don't like the way that they're constructed. So it's gone. Mm-hmm. So if you want to support what we're doing here at all, there's still two simple ways to do it. I'm going to do a little display capture here. If you go to scaryifliteral.com, up at the top it says support us, and there's two options. There's a donate page that this money that it goes directly to me, and then there's a website called Flatter, which you can also find there, flatter.com/@scaryifliteral. And Flatter will let you do either a monthly or a one-time donation of size that you see fit, and frequency, I guess monthly. So you could do $1 a month, $2 a month, $20 today and never again, whatever the hell you want to do. And it is in no way contingent upon anything. You're just doing it because the content I make you like and you want to help me out. So if you want to do either of those things, that's how you would continue supporting the channel in a way that doesn't feed into the that subscription thing that
hierarchy kind of thing.
I just don't like it. I don't like it like, oh, I got this content because I paid them for it. Like I don't know. Like,
and there's always going to be people that cannot do that, or
right.
And why should they be left out the loop?
That reminded me of a really good thing here. So one of the people who I enjoy some of his content is a guy named Sam Harris. And what he does on his podcast, where he talks to very intelligent people, is he has it's free, but then there's a subscription version where you get the full podcast. So on the free feed, you'll get like the first 2 hours of conversation. Pay him X a month, and you'll get the rest of the conversation. Cool. He always says, though, if you can't, and I think this is the same for his waking up stuff, his meditation stuff. If you can't afford my content, send an email to help@samharris.org or whatever it is, and just tell us, I can't afford your content, and we will give you a year's license for free. And if next year you still can't afford it, email us again, and we'll give it to you for free again. And I'm like, at that point, why not just do what I'm doing and just say, flip the paradigm and say, if you like my content and you want to donate me money to help support me do it, then do that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I love what he's doing, but I'm just doing it the other way around.
The basis should be that maybe it's free for everybody, and then for those who want to support
or who can support,
yeah.
Because I'm sure some people want to support but can't, and fair enough.
Yeah, and that's totally understandable. We have definitely been there before.
Please, nobody ever donate money to me that's gonna that you needed to pay a bill. Like, that's insane. Please don't ever do that. But yeah, and like the easiest way to support any YouTube channel is just to watch a video to completion. Like, that's it.
Exactly.
If you want to help me out, start one of my playlists and fucking walk away.
Yeah.
Just let that shit play. That helps me, because a lot of people, like normal people in the world, ask me when they know that I do YouTube, like to make money. They're like, how do you make money off YouTube? I'm like, well, people watch the videos and they see ads. I'm like, well, how does that work? Like, well, if you click on my video, watch for 30 seconds and back out, I don't make shit from that. If you click my video and you watch the whole duration, I make some money from that. And if 10,000 people do that, I make, enough money to pay a bill.
Yeah. Hey, while you're cleaning your house, put the YouTube on. put the channel on, let it
Let it
go to
ride.
autoplay, do your dishes, do your laundry, just
That
let
helps.
it roll.
That's an easy way to help.
Listen,
So,
I do that for people.
yeah, for sure. So we've spent enough time explaining that stuff. I just wanted to kind of, because I had a few YouTube members say, well, I didn't expect anything extra from you, and I get that. I'm not putting this on you guys at all, because I don't think any of you did expect like extra content for being a member.
It's a moral thing.
It's just that, yeah, the way that it's worded from YouTube to me is not what I wanted to do. So it's this, how can I say this? It won't sound rude. It's not about you. Thank you for supporting. This has nothing to do with you. This has everything to do with me and my interaction with YouTube. And then I just don't think that model fits with my mentality. So I'm just not gonna do it. And if other people want to do it and have memberships and they want to do these things and have benefits, great, more power to you. If your viewers, watchers, listeners, whatever, like that, then great. I just don't want to do it myself, and that's it. So yeah, go to scaryfliteral.com and you can support us there in a way that I will feel better about. I also wanted to kind of put this out there and let you guys kind of talk this out and tell me what you guys think in terms of content that I could continue to produce. So there are times when there's not really anything going on that I have anything that I want to say, anything I can add productively to a conversation. But I might still have time to make content. There's just nothing that's piquing my interest. So what I want to know is, like, in particular, like, would you guys like to see things like live streams come back more often? Maybe just like a live stream where it's like Surface Duo Q&A, Z Fold Q&A, ask me whatever you want to ask me, stuff like that. Would you guys be into that? Throw some other ideas of what other live videos I could do. And then we have a gaming YouTube channel that just is there. We put stuff on every now and again. We streamed on it for a little while. Would you guys like to see any like a video, like a live stream where maybe I'm playing Warzone solos or something and just kind of fucking around and talking to you guys in the chat while I'm playing? Is that something you guys would want to see or would care anything about as well? So just, give me some ideas of some non-typical or atypical content that you guys would like to see going forward. Because, the reason I bring up the live stream thing is that super chats are a thing, and that might help me with another revenue stream as well. Just ways to implement that. So let me know what you guys think about live streams and how you would like to see me utilize live streaming in the comments down below, because I don't want to do something and everybody be like, I didn't care about that. So you guys tell me what you want to see, and I'll figure out how I can make that work. And maybe ways to, if it's something that like could integrate Jessi into it as well. Like, would you guys like to see us co-op stream through a game or something, or, whatever. Just let me know what you guys think. Speaking of, no, this actually has, okay. Speaking of the YouTube channel, there's a thing that I did the other day, which I thought was pretty interesting. I put out a poll on the YouTube channel, on the community page. And I asked, how excited are you for Surface Duo 2's announcement? 5 being the most excited imaginable, 1 being you could not care less. And I was actually really happy. I got like 413 votes, which is more than I expected. There's a lot of interaction. And what I want to do is I want to ask you, you've seen how I've soured because of the black screen bugs and all these sorts of things, the glitchiness over the last few months. 5 being the most excited imaginable, 1 being could not care less. What do you think? What number do you think won that poll? Because I was a little bit surprised.
Oh, for like everybody?
Yeah, 413 votes.
I'm gonna put 4. I'm gonna say 4.
Surprisingly enough, it was not only was it 5, it was 5 by double. Wow. 4 had 23%, 5 had 54% of the vote. 5 crushed it.
I totally get that though, because like I'm never gonna use a Duo type device, but like I'm excited for it to come out because I want to see a device that people deserve to have that works. Like I'm just so excited for you to be able to have one in your hands and not be like, oh, look at this, just not turning on the screen over here, or oh, my camera is fucked up, that kind of thing. So.
Really surprised me, and it's actually, it's interesting because a lot of, like, it's not just me that's soured. Like, if you go to the Surface Duo subreddit, like, the conversations have slowed way, which of course it's going to.
Yeah.
But it's slowed way down, and the overall tone just feels more negative than it was before. And so, you know, you would be forgiven if you thought that, like, oh, people have kind of soured a bit on this concept. They've soured on the Duo. They've not soured on the concept at all. And I think that's where I'm at. The concept is still something I'm super excited about.
I think that they are going to have to deliver something that is above and beyond what everyone expects because of the poor updates and the lack of bug fixes, and just, I mean, not even having like a change log. Like, that to me is crazy. Like, I don't understand that. That's Microsoft, you know?
Yeah,
like,
I tweeted a few days ago when they pushed out an update for my Fold, and on your Fold, when you get your update, it has like its own custom update screen, and it has the change log of the update on your phone in the update screen. And it's like, here's what we're doing. On the Duo, I think it literally just says improves device stability every time. And you're like, okay.
What does that mean? And
then, like, sometimes it's almost a week before they post the actual changelog online, and you're like, ah, that's what it is.
They're like, guys, we got to come up with something to put on the changelog. Can you think of anything? And they're like,
we broke one of the screens sometimes. Can we put that in there? Broke one screen sometimes. It's a bummer, but I was heartened to see that response from everybody, and the comments were I really hope that they've been paying attention to these problems, and that this is gonna get fixed.
Yeah, I hope that the next one is I don't know, I want to see something a little bit different as far as its like design, like it's aesthetically. Like, I hope they do something really cool with it. The first one looks beautiful, but I want to see something that's like, ooh.
I think, ooh.
Like, ooh.
I think we're going to get, you know, speaking of Duo 2, and I'll kind of answer a couple of questions here. We got a question from Leroy O. Floin? How would you pronounce this? Floinn. There's an O apostrophe in front, so like Floin? Floin? I don't know. I
really don't know. I've never heard that one before.
I usually get good grades from people when I try to pronounce their names. Almost always, when they do reply to me, they say, "You did a pretty good job there." I'm in the dark on that one. So hopefully one of those two is correct. I deeply apologize if it's not.
Okay, I'm going to guess it's O'Flowen.
Sure. I don't know. Leroy.
Let us know.
This kind of plays into this. They asked if I thought Microsoft Launcher would get a big update with Duo 2. So I have had a sort of maybe a naive hope that Android 11 will drop right about the time that Duo 2 comes out, so that they'll be like, here's the Duo 2. Okay, look, here's the thing. Duo 2 has to be running Android 11 out of the box, okay? If they announce Duo 2 and it's like, Android 11 coming soon, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. It has to be running Android 11.
Yeah.
So I think when they do that, they'll announce Duo 2 running Android 11 out either late September or early October. And then they're going to say, and the original Duo will be getting Android 11 right at the same time. Yes. Do I think that the launcher is going to get a major update? I sure as fuck hope so. Here's a crazy thing. If you install Microsoft Launcher on your Pixel, you have many, many, many more settings and features than I have on the same launcher on the device Microsoft makes. I can't do custom icons on my Duo's launcher. Like, how is there not feature parity on the launcher on the device that they make versus the version that just goes on everybody's phone? That's crazy. Do I think, here's the thing, do I think it's going to get some big update when the Duo 2 comes out? Maybe. But I don't feel that strongly about it. I kind of feel like they're focusing on the OS. That's kind of the feeling I've gotten.
And they should.
Which they should, but like the fact that their launcher still is so bare bones is just nuts to me. But, look, let's be fair here, because the Z Fold 2 also can't do custom icons and also doesn't have a ton of features. Now, it's got more features than the Duo's launcher does, but that's true of any launcher. But when you're talking about a weird form factor phone, like the Fold's launcher has to scale. So what it does, like if you install any of the launcher on the Fold, it's the same launcher on your cover screen as it is on the interior screen, and it just looks weird. If it looks right on one, it looks wrong on the other. With the Fold's launcher, it actually gives you two different layouts. So you got your cover layout, which you can customize and have it to be whatever you want. And then when you open it, like you see my wallpaper there, whenever you open it, you get a completely different, actually long press there, completely different layout, different wallpaper if you want to do that, different widgets if you want to do that. It's like you essentially have two devices and two launchers, which makes sense for this device. So have they committed themselves to getting that right and left out some features? I get that. So I can't shit on it if I don't shit on this as well, but I'm going to shit on this less. I'm pointing at my Z Fold for audio listeners, because it's still got more features than the Duo does.
Right.
And did we talk about, Duo 2 rumors last week about as far as like the hardware goes? Last podcast?
I don't think so. I don't think we did.
I'll run through
I don't remember it.
I'll run through them really briefly. Duo 2 will be slightly thicker. Not a lot. Slightly thicker. These are the rumors I'm hearing, and these are coming from people.
Yeah.
These are people that are reliable. People that
I'm
have
fine
almost...
with that.
I'm
fine with that.
People who have almost certainly maybe even seen the thing. Slightly thicker. I also saw that these screens will be slightly bigger, but I saw that they'll be taller. And people got upset and said, "Oh, I like the 4x3 screens," and I get that. But here's what I think is happening. If you look at the Duo, you've got a big chin and a big forehead, right? So if you shrink the chin and you shrink the forehead, guess what? The screens are going to be taller.
Yeah.
So they're going to shrink the bezels. That's what's happening. Thicker, shrunken bezels, making the screens taller. There is going to be, I made a video talking about how there's going to be an external camera with a bump and then probably a notch so that when you close it, you'll still be able to close flush. That seems like it's happening. And some people said, "Oh, well, how will you take a selfie then?" I never said this camera was going away. You still have this camera. You're going to have two cameras, one facing in, one facing out. The one facing out will be much, much better. This will continue to be a standard selfie camera, webcam-y style thing. This will be an actual camera, and it's going to face outward. What else? NFC, wireless charging, these things are going to happen. Modern chipset, so a modern Snapdragon. I've not heard anybody definitively say, yeah, it's going to be the AAA, it's going to be 12 gigs of RAM, but expect, something like that. Would it shock me if they went with something like, like a 7 series? No, and honestly, if the battery life was outstanding, I'd be fine with the 7 series, but it's going to be a modern chipset, and more RAM. So those are the Duo rumors as they currently stand. And, excuse me, let's talk about, I'll do the same thing here real briefly for the Z Fold 3 rumors as well, because people always ask about like what's going on there. Nothing super crazy new yet. Like you guys have seen the renders of what the Z Fold 3 is likely to look like. That's what I'm showing you here on screen. It's going to look a little bit different. The camera bump in the back is not going to be giant square. It's going to be more rounded and smaller. The same 3 cameras that are on the Z Fold 2. So it's a triple 12 megapixel setup. It's a 12 megapixel wide, 12 megapixel ultra wide, and a 2x telephoto 12 megapixel. On the outside, you're going to have the same hole punch selfie camera, which I've grown to not really notice. And then the big change is that on the inside, rather than having another hole punch to the side, it's going to be Samsung's new under display camera tech. So the interior camera will be invisible. Well,
So
not invisible, but mostly invisible.
look on the edge. Does it look like the edge of it's going to be kind of like curved downwards on like the outside part of the phone?
Like, is it kind of chamfered to the, kind of off to the side? Is that what you're asking?
Well, I don't know
Like
what that word
kind of,
means,
well,
but
did
yeah.
it kind of slopes down? And you're talking about like literally
Am I
on
looking
the,
at the right one?
you're talking about like literally on the exterior of it.
Yeah, the exterior, like over where
Yeah.
the power button is. It looks like it's kind of
They've
sloped
probably,
a little bit.
yeah, it's very likely that they've curved the body a little bit to improve the hand feel, because this thing does still feel rather large at times. Not, I mean, when it's like this, not really, but having it kind of curved always makes the phone feel smaller and easier
Yeah.
to handle. What do you think of the appearance of the this almost certainly is what the Z Fold 3 is going to look like, and I'll pull this back up again here while you're talking.
So I mean, maybe it's just me, but it looks extremely tall and narrow.
It is in terms of that, it's going to be pretty much the same. This thing I'm showing, it says
Okay.
periscope camera, and that is wrong. It is not a periscope camera, but anyways, ignore that. But it is, in terms of that, it should be literally identical to what we already have, which is
Maybe
very
it's
tall and
because
narrow.
you have a case on yours. Maybe it just seems different.
Well, if I open it up like this, let me do this. There's a way for me
hold
to
it up there. I kind of want to see the back of it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like the new camera bump on there. I know a lot of people would, and I know I started out hating camera bumps, but if you're gonna have one, I prefer the look of that one than the really small, little ones, like the little.
This looks industrial, like it
Yeah,
looks
it
it looks
does.
serious.
Yeah, like
it is huge though.
I hated mine at first, but like honestly, it's okay now.
Oh,
Actually, now that I'm looking at it, it really does stick out like a sore thumb. But I don't like the new camera bump on there. I just don't like it. I don't think it looks good. It looks weird.
I'm whatever about the camera bump. They used to bother me more, but they don't really bother me now. Same thing goes with the hole punch in the camera. Like they're getting rid of it on the interior, and that's fine. Like I guess that's where we're gonna go. But here's the thing. So the selfie camera on the Fold is fine. It's fine. But the new one is going to be a 16 megapixel rather than the 12 that was on this one. So this was 12s all around. Well, but here's the thing. You're shining, you're pointing the camera through a screen.
Through a screen. Yeah.
So
are they going to be pixels in front of it?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it literally is coming from underneath the display. So there's going to have to be, if you look at ZTE put out a phone that had the first in-display under-display camera, and the camera quality was bad. It always looked a little fuzzy because it's literally looking through a screen.
Yeah.
So what they did is they reduced the pixel density in that spot, but it's as if you're taking a picture through a screen. And so I'm wondering if they're making a higher resolution camera to try and compensate for the fact that it has to take a hit from being up from taking a picture through a screen. So if it is as good as the selfie camera on the Fold, I think that you'll be able to say that was the right move. If it's worse, would I sacrifice having a worse camera to have the selfie camera hidden? I don't know, maybe, because I'm not really that bothered by the hole punch, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, I think also, like, maybe I'm totally wrong here, but what I'm seeing now is that we're moving from a place with phones where if people, like, if they're going to be using their cameras for selfies or blogging, a lot of times they're going to have it up on, like, a stand. They're going to have, like, a light ring. I mean, this is what I'm literally seeing this. Like, there are so many regular people now who have some kind of vlogging setup now.
Well,
you
and
know?
with the Fold,
Yeah.
you can literally have this as your viewfinder while you're using your high-end camera, and I can,
Yeah.
you know, like the video that I made where I talked about why I was getting rid of the YouTube memberships. I was literally sitting outside, decided to just do that quick video, and this is how I filmed it. You know, I held it up and did this, and talked to myself that way into that camera. I uploaded it from my Fold, and it, you know, I didn't edit anything. I just uploaded it, and it looks really good. It's like people ask me in the comments, what did I film that on? I'm like, I filmed it on my Fold. It looks really good. So I'm not really that concerned about selfie cameras at this point. Like, as long as there's one, I don't need one on both. So they are also 120 hertz on the inside and 120 hertz on the outside as well. So that will be a good difference. And they will be closing in the gap in the middle, which is small, and it will be probably almost gone now. And apparently the actual crease will be less noticeable on the new model as well.
That's what it looks like on the image too. Like when it's unfolded, like it looks like the gap is very, very, very thin.
Yeah. Well, even on this one, the way that the hinge works, whenever it's opened, you essentially can't see any gap between.
Yeah.
It is gone. But what they're doing is they're adjusting. The reason there's a crease here is because of just how the screen is folding, and they're changing. Like you've looked at the Moto Razr, how the Razr actually folds at 3 points, and that spreads the crease out over a larger space, making it less noticeable. So
Probably
they're doing
protects it a little bit better too, doesn't it?
Yep. So they're doing something there to just make that crease look a little bit less noticeable. So something else that's come up over the last since we did our last podcast is this guy. So I've used my Galaxy Tab S7 a little bit. Oops, plugged in. And it's a good tablet. As Android tablets go, it's very good. Android tablets in and of themselves just aren't that great. But this, as Android tablets go, it's like one of the best ones, which isn't saying a lot. But I saw, well, because like Android
tablets are just like...
Android apps just aren't really made to run on giant screens. So they work fine if you're split screening, because then you got two smaller screens and it works fine. And it works fine on the Fold. People say that a lot. Android apps look bad on tablets, therefore the Fold is stupid. Well, yeah, but the Fold is not a big tablet. Like it's a fucking small tablet. So like if you...
And also, I disagree.
Like, if you think that, like, yeah, does Twitter look a little odd on the interior screen? Yeah, but like it's not that bad. Like it's not like people like or like even like Instagram. You can scale it, and I can get a whole Instagram picture in a big, you know, like
That's my phone.
Where's your phone? It's fine. Like, now, that being said, do the same thing on here, and yeah, it does start to look really ridiculous. However, this popped up on sale, like almost half off. This is Samsung's official keyboard case setup. And if you've never seen it before, it's actually hilarious, because it's exactly what Lenovo did with their Duet. It comes with this thing. Man, the magnet is really strong. Like, it does not want to come off. This thing, which literally just magnetically attaches to the back of the device, and it is on there. It has a kickstand as part of it.
How's that kickstand feel, by the way?
It's good. It's solid. Like it's.
Is it hard to pull away from it? Because that's something I hate about the Duet. Is like sometimes it's really hard to get it separated from the back of it.
No, and I doubt I can show this in the. There's no way I can. But the actual kickstand is overlaps. So I can, I'll like literally like, I can just do that. Like it's super easy. And then you have a keyboard that comes with it as well. And the keyboard attaches via magnets and little pogo pins as well. So you can see the attachment mechanism there is pretty damn simple.
Which is awesome.
So then it's like, okay, it's like, okay, great. You've got an Android tablet that you just admitted isn't that great, and now you have a mouse and keyboard on it, or a trackpad and a keyboard on it. What good does that do you? Well, here's the cool fucking thing that Samsung does with their shit, with their Android tablets in particular, is you have Dex mode, which gives you a desktop environment. So if I launch my web browser, or if I launch, let's do Twitter, I can run Twitter in a window. This is hard to do. I can move the window around. I can resize the window. I can like stick it over here to the side and then open up my web browser, and then I can like kind of have Twitter feed and my web browser side by side. So now basically what I have is like people, Chromebooks are cool now because they run Android apps. Well, this is just like a Chromebook, but the biggest difference here is that with a Chromebook, you're stuck with Chrome. Can you install Edge or Brave and run it? Sure, but it's never going to work as well as Chrome does because all the keyboard hotkeys trigger Chrome. So if you hit Control N, it will open up a Chrome window. So if you don't, if you want a Chromebook that isn't tied to Chrome, this is it. And it like, I've been using it the last couple of days, and it works shockingly well. I forgot to mention too, your S Pen that it comes with magnetically attaches there and it charges that way.
How nice is that?
But it's really easy to knock off. Well, with the case, it covers it. So it's just there now forever, which is awesome. The keyboard typing on it is like shockingly good. I would actually. It's not
mushy or anything.
It's not mushy. The key travel is quite good. I actually put it. If the Surface Pro 7 is a 10, this is like an 8. Like it's.
Are those keys recessed a little bit from like the trackpad and everything? Pull it.
No, it's flat. It's all flat. But the key travel is pretty good. Like you need a little bit of key travel. You need a little bit of a click as it bottoms out, and it has all that stuff going for it. And it just works really well. Let's see if face unlock will get me here if I'm sitting here.
Aw, Rutherford.
Yes. I got to reconfigure the face unlock because it's not been working that great for me lately, but my Surface kind of fucks up with that too, so whatever.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good for,
you've used that thing a lot, so.
And so, people are going to be like, well, you have a Surface Pro 7, why use that? Well, here's one thing this has as an advantage, because the Surface Pro 7 has a great screen and I like the taller aspect ratio. This has a 120 hertz refresh rate and it looks fucking awesome. Even just scrolling through, through a web browser, it is so fucking smooth. Everything looks phenomenal. And, I've got Twitter here next to my web browser. I could launch Pokemon Go and have it next to my browser and be sitting there catching Pokemon while I'm browsing the web or whatever. And all that stuff works in a window. It's all resizable and it all works really well. So
yeah,
I'm pretty impressed and pretty happy with Dex mode. With an actually like that, it turns that thing into a proper laptop that is running Android, and is very cool. Let's see here. There's one I wanted to ask you this too before because we're kind of coming to the end here. When the Duo 2 comes out and I buy it, because I'm gonna have to buy it because Microsoft isn't gonna give it to me, so I have to buy it. And I'm going to have to use it. So I'm going to have to take my SIM out of my Fold and put it in the Duo. I would have to think if I even would want to do this because I'm protective over this expensive thing. And I don't want to say that I don't trust you with devices, but like, I don't know.
Are you asking me if I would use it?
I was going to ask you, I don't trust anybody with something this expensive but me. Like it's hard for me to even hand it to somebody. Would you hypothetically, if it's sitting around, would you have any temptation to be like, I'd like to try that for a couple days and just see what it would be like to have? Give any desire to try something like the Fold? Because we've talked about the Duo, and you have no desire to use the Duo at all.
No, because it's too much for these dumb hands to handle.
But with the Fold?
The Fold, I mean, it does seem intriguing, but I don't think so. Really, if I'm gonna get anything that folds, it's actually gonna be either the Flip or the Razor. I really, really, really want the Razor, but holy God, they're so expensive. And I really want one. But I don't think so. I honestly don't know if it's because of how scared I am of breaking it. Like, I'm legitimately traumatized from all the phones that I've shattered in the past 7 years.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
think that does hold me back a lot because when they were showing the ads for the Duo and they're showing the people like doing the weird, like they're
Flipping it
flipping
around.
stuff around, and I'm like, I do that on a
Stop!
daily. I do that by accident, just trying to take my phone out of my pocket, and I take it out and it flips and it falls on the ground and then it shatters, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know. I don't think I will. I've only touched it like a few times. I really like watching you use it, but I just don't. If I'm talking about both of them, if I were going to be interested in either one, it would be the Fold over the Duo. The Duo can do way too much for me. It's too complicated. The Fold is just like, here's a screen.
here's a big
Here's
screen.
a big screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've said for me, they are different. Like the Fold can do a lot of things that the Duo can do.
Yeah.
But the Fold so the Duo is the ultimate productivity device. The Fold is the ultimate entertainment consumption device that can do a lot, that can do more
Right.
productivity than any other phone besides the Duo. So
Right.
this can, because people always like, oh, the Fold is just for consumption. And it is phenomenal at media consumption. Like, phenomenal.
But if it wasn't a productivity device also, you wouldn't be
I wouldn't care
using
about
it and be so satisfied with it also.
I promise you that I use, because like literally earlier today, this is gonna sound super fucking stupid, but I'm mildly obsessed with my stats on Warzone. I'm kind of locked in on that at the moment, and one of the things I was doing is I was looking at a website that will give you stats over your last matches, and I was looking at the average kill death ratio of the lobbies that I was in over the 14 matches that I played yesterday, and I wanted to average them. So what I did is I got them pulled up here, and then I opened up a calculator in split screen because I wanted to be able to reference the numbers on one side and then add them to average them on the other screen. So I'm scrolling and I'm adding and stuff like that. Like, okay, that is analogous to like actual work being done. Like it is work being done. It's just stupid work being done. So it's really good at that stuff, but it is there is no pocketable device on the market that is better than the Fold at media consumption. It like,
Yeah.
you're gonna stop
think
watching a
I
YouTube
would-
video, pop out that kickstand back there in that case. The speakers are stereo, they're loud. The screen looks great. It's phenomenal.
I don't think here's the thing, if I could figure out a way to use it in a way that's safe for the phone, like, I don't think I'd be able to stay off of my phone.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I think a big part of it for you as well is that you struggle with large phones like the Pixel 5.
Yeah.
Like hold up your Pixel 5 again, just because. So the Pixel 5 is considered a small smartphone. In your hand, it looks like a very large.
Normal.
It looks like a note. Like it looks enormous. Your hands are tiny. So this thing would look.
Yeah.
Especially in tablet mode, would look ridiculous. Although you would be able to reach across this thing pretty easily.
I would, because
you'd be able
it's
to do
narrow.
that, but you would have no chance of getting to the top. You would have to use the small screen, the
And
one-handed mode to do that.
this has been like, I'm really upset. I don't know what I did, but I have
The
like, a
deepest
scratch right
on the
there.
back.
And
into
then,
the-
like, literally on the corners. I
yeah,
don't
they're
know what
parallel.
I've done. And I have, I haven't told you this, but I've dropped this thing on the pavement at least twice. And that screen, there's one scratch. You probably won't ever be able to see it on camera, but there's a scratch right there.
Yeah, that's pretty deep.
And I don't know what it is, but this thing has held up.
Yeah. You would have
I've dropped
probably
it so many times.
you would have killed the Fold already at this point. I have a phone that
I just can't have it.
I have the perfect phone for you. I just sent you a link to it.
Okay,
I'm gonna pull it
let's
up
look at it.
on the picture in picture. It's a perfect phone for you. It's called the Unihertz Jelly 2. And I wish I could get a picture of someone holding the thing. There we go. Yeah, scroll down a little bit. The
That's
absolute
actually really adorable.
the absolute perfect phone for you.
It's $200.
Uh-huh.
Wait, what are the specs good? Android 10, 3-inch display. Okay, it's basically like one of the phones I had when we first started dating.
You know what I love? It's got infrared. Does it really have an IR blaster? That's
fingerprint
awesome.
unlock.
Yeah, on the back.
Dual SIM.
Yep.
If it had a better camera, I'd be interested. So that'd be like what? Like, let's see.
16 megapixel rear camera, might be okay.
So it'd be like, what, like that big?
It is, yeah.
So it'd be like,
yeah. What, a 3-inch display? And then, of course, there's some bezel there. So probably call it 4 inches. So, yeah, about like that. Yeah, pretty damn small.
That's the perfect phone for me if it had. Yeah. Listen.
I love the one picture of somebody playing a game on it. Like, are you fucking?
I didn't see that.
Are you fucking shit? You kidding me right now?
Can you pull up a picture of the Razr and just show everybody how amazing that is? Because that's what I want, like really bad.
Well, because there you have the best of both worlds, right? You have a phone that can be small or that can be large.
Yeah, and it's got that awesome. It has an outer display too that's like really adorable.
Have you seen though the Z Flip 3? The rumors of it?
No.
Well,
do you have a link to that?
The outer screen. The outer screen is going to get much larger. Let me see if I can pull up. I know I've tweeted it. I don't know when. It's probably a silly way for me to do this. Z Flip 3 render.
So let's ask the audience.
There we go. Yeah, there we go.
You guys will donate so that we can somehow afford to buy a Razr and then also the Duo 2. That's actually really adorable.
So you see where they've enlarged that outer screen a bit to make that more useful, and they've rearranged the camera, so it looks very good.
Just I'm imagining. You don't know how happy I would be if I could fit a phone in my front pocket again.
Right.
Because, listen, y'all need to realize women have like 2 inches of depth in their front pockets.
Yeah.
3 if it's a really nice pair of pants.
Yeah.
Like, all you guys, you get to have like deep as fuck front pockets.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough for you guys.
Yeah. It's tough out here for a lady pimp with no pockets.
Pocketless pimp.
And all these expensive fucking phones now.
Yep. I think we've got to the end of this episode. So as I've already said, head over to scaryifliteral.com for all the links to, of course, the YouTube channel, Twitter, and things like that. There are also links to several ways for you to support the show as well. So thank you for joining me today, Jessi. My name is Shane. This was Podcast Revived, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.